Hello everyone and welcome back to Take It, Hold It, Mod It. For this episode we're actually going to play Operator only and we're going to go back to Spawn Locked. As usual, every other setting is going to stay pretty much the same. If you like the series so far, I'd appreciate a like if you like it, a dislike if you dislike it, share it around with people who are interested in HD VR, or give me mod suggestions, criticism, anything you want me to improve the series with, maybe even custom characters down the line. Oh, and we are in. And we even get a Karambit, would you look at that? Damn, it's also the Fade version. Huh, cool. I'm also noticing this is actually one of the only knives that's actually kind of positioned very nicely. You know, I saw some people talking in the help discussion in the Discord server, saying that all the... Oh god, no. I don't know if I want a revolver that doesn't come with a speed loader, but I mean, I guess we're going to have to deal with it. At least we have Spawn Locked, so we don't just have 6 rounds and have to fiddle about with that. At the very least. But yeah, I saw some people in the help discussions of the Discord server talking about how the knives were positioned very weirdly. And I didn't really notice it at first. I was kind of like, they seem pretty fine to me. But the more I noticed, or the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, they're actually kind of positioned a little weirdly. The Karambit is one of the few that doesn't actually have that problem, where, it's just you. Okay, well, I mean... Oh, it's so weak! What a tiny, pitiful little thing. Doesn't even kill a Sosig in one hit. Could you imagine that? Yeah, the more I noticed it with Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? Well, I know what we're getting rid of pretty much immediately. Honestly, I would rather have a bolt-action sniper rifle. Give me the L96. Absolutely, yes. And it came with a red dot. Well, I guess this is another sniping episode. Would you look at that? Yeah, I do hope knives get changed a little bit now that the more that I thought about it, because generally speaking, in H3, every single knife. Let me see. Where is the Karambit? Here it is. Yeah, when the knife is in the stabbing position like this, where it's facing downwards, usually it's actually like this. The kind of part where the blade intersects with the handle is actually quite far up on the index and like the Oculus controllers and stuff like that, and probably even the Vive controllers as well. Instead of being like where the actual handle is, so the handle's actually like way above. You don't know here, let me show you. There was my controller where it was. It's really hard to show without just turning off controller geo becoming invisible, that option. So, you know, I guess you can kind of see it there, but oh well. Anyway, it's really annoying because I've actually already technically recorded episode 6, and this is just going to be me ranting and me complaining, boo-hoo, me. Let me change that to a different one. I want the traditional, just standard red dot. But yeah, I actually have already recorded episode 6, but it turns out the game didn't record game audio, which I am going to quickly check to see if it is currently doing. Give me a second. Okay, it is recording game audio. I just got to double check because I don't want to spend another hour doing an entire episode and then find out that there's no game audio. And I figured out why that happened, so you know, that's why it's fixed now. But why it happened is kind of annoying. Basically, it was just the... Ooh. I wasn't chambered. Damn. Am I still not chambered? No, I am chambered now. Basically, I just wasn't taking in the audio from the Index HMD. It was just speakers, so... Go figure. The simplest solution is the one that actually happened. Or the simplest answer. What is that? Occam's Razor, is it, or something? It's not Occam's Razor, is it? Actually, I think it is. Where the simplest answer is the most likely. In terms of, like, you know, a situation, not like coding or something. Usually, it doesn't really apply to stuff like coding, where the simplest is the best. Ooh, I really like the L96, honestly. I've always really liked it. I have like a particular affinity to the L96, mainly from funnily enough, combat arms. I really like the L96 in combat arms. Mostly because, like, I was at that age where I was like 12, 13, and I watched a lot of combat arms montages, and people would always use like the L96 that was covered in like an Arctic camo, and it looked really cool, and I was like, damn, that's a cool sniper rifle. And I really wanted it, and I never got it, because it's a paid one. Because combat arms is a free-to-play, like, pay-to-win game. Yeah, unfortunately, combat arms wouldn't really fit this modern environment, so it's a shame. I still very occasionally go back and play it again, just to have a slightly fun time with it. Ooh, the Tawz! I actually got this in the failed recorded run. The past one, the one that you'll never see. Or will you? Curious. We'll see. I might do something with it. Wink wink, maybe. But for now, we can just head along with this. Alright. So one of the things I did talk about in the last episode, and I'm going to kind of reiterate a lot of the things I talked about there, because I actually had some really good conversations. So one of the things I actually mentioned was what I was originally going to call the series before Take It, Hold It, Mod It. I did state that I'm really happy people are actually liking the series, you know. Especially on the first episode, I got a lot of support for that. A lot of people were really liking it, really watching it, really kind of showing their support, which is always nice, you know. It's really nice to have something you worked on for several months or maybe even years come out of nowhere, or just, you know, suddenly launch, and then it actually has a lot of support. That was my Discord, by the way. Sorry, I should probably put myself onto Do Not Disturb. But hindsight's 2020. Might get another ping or two in a second. But yeah, normally it's really kind of stressful to be working on something for a really long time, and then when it finally releases, you're kind of like, oh, what's going to happen? Are people going to like it? Are people going to, you know, hate it? Are people going to love it? You know, so it's really nice to, and it's not very nice when you work on something for a really long time, and then people end up disliking it. Wink, wink, game development. As unfortunate as it is. Ooh, of course you're going to give us white tips. Why wouldn't you? Nice. But previously, I actually put up a poll on my Discord asking people, like, what do you want me to call the series? I had a couple ideas. I was going to go with, like, HDVR, modded series or something, or something simple like that. And one of the answers was Take It, Hold It, Mod It. And then one of the other ones I wanted to do was Take and Hold Traverse. Which ended up, like, I liked that name in theory, but in actual practice it doesn't really work that well, because the Traverse is meant to mean like we're kind of exploring the modded side of HDVR, you know? That's what the name was meant for. It wasn't just like a random subtitle that I came up with out of nowhere. It was actually something I wanted to have meaning. But I mostly wanted to communicate that it was a series that was modded, you know? Something that, like, it wasn't just a traditional HDVR, me doing more Take and Hold again for like the 14 billionth time. So I figured the best solution was probably just to put modding in the title in some capacity. So ultimately I went with that. Take It, Hold It, Mod It was actually the most voted answer on the poll. People really like that one the most, but I am also kind of skirting around one of the other answers, which was something else. You know, I put up an answer saying like, hey, if you like none of these answers, then, you know, maybe it should be something else. And that was the most voted answer. But, come on. My shot is so freaking bad today. It's actually really convenient we have an alt on the dust map. Very fitting, don't you think? Yeah, the answer that people actually picked the most was something else. And I figured, you know, I'll try and... Oh, I forgot. Encryptions exist. Where is this last one? Are you in here? Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I'm also unchambered. What? Okay, I was on safe, apparently. I don't remember clicking the safety, but, you know, index touchpads be index touchpads. Advancing to next system lane. Yeah, I decided to just go with take it, hold it, mod it, because, you know, I didn't want to put the series on hold anymore, as much of a pun that is. To be honest, most of the time spent was wow, okay, we died? Okay. That dude deleted me? Well, we can just go again. No reason we can't. But I decided just to go with take it, hold it, mod it, because I figured, you know, I didn't want to put the series on hold much anymore, and people seem to like that title the most out of the options I gave. And, you know, the series wouldn't even be going on right now if I just decided to stay put and just try and make another title. So I figured, you know what, this is good enough. But it's also not like I can change it later on, you know. What are the chances of that? What? Excuse me? That is kind of crazy. Holy shit. We just got the L96 twice in a row. That is kind of insane. Huh. What are the chances of that? I mean, I know we are on operator only, so the pool is actually much smaller, but even then, that is still kind of a crazy coincidence. Very, very weird. Normally there's SOSIGs down here. I assume there actually isn't any right now. There's probably just one standing up here we can Mondo delete. I, once again, forgot to turn off the safety because I'm a big fat dumbass. I was having a discussion with people in the H2VR Discord a few days ago talking about API versus hollow points. You know, we were talking about rounds, what the best rounds to have in a given firearm in H3, and I said, you know, if it's a high caliber gun, like a rifle, or a battle rifle, or a sniper rifle, anything that's above, let's say, I don't know, maybe something like 45 ACP, if it's above that, maybe 308 Magnum, something like that. If it's anything above that, then typically speaking, API is what you're shooting for, because what's better on the lower caliber weapons like 9mm, 45, etc., is hollow points. Hollow points is just the kind of best round to have in your guns most of the time. At least from what I've experienced and what that's kind of the opinion I hold. Someone said that they prefer having API on every single gun, no matter what it is, if it's like a low caliber one or a high caliber one or a rifle or even a pistol. And to that I tried to say, well, I don't really like having, what's it called, API on lower caliber guns because
is that really necessary?
It's not really like a substantial improvement to have API in a gun that already doesn't have that big penetration power anyway. You know, it's kind of like the pistol. Oh wow, I'm terrible. Oh wow! I missed 3 shots in a row in the exact same area. Apparently I'm out of it today. Not my best. But yeah, this I always kind of thought about it in the sense that, you know, a gun that has 10% penetration power, giving it a modifier that gives it an extra 20% penetration isn't going to change it too much. Isn't going to make it that much better. You know, it's kind of, you're only upping it to what would be like 15% at that point at most. You know, going from 10% penetration power to 15% penetration power, you know, that's nothing to sneeze at. Or no, that is something to sneeze at, in my opinion. I'm using the analogy wrong, the metaphor. I would much rather have hollow points, because hollow points, and we have them right here, we actually got the perfect build for both of these weapons. It's, so this is hollow points, and this is API. And hollow points make it so they just delete SOSIGs. They're not very good against armored opponents, but they're really good against flesh. Extremely good against flesh, to the point that, you know, as you saw, it just deleted them. It just takes their head and blows it apart. I'd rather have this power than a little bit of extra penetration power that might help me if I'm facing guys with face shields or something. You know? I'd rather lock out, because generally speaking, I always aim for the flesh anyway, even if they are armored and have a helmet on or something like that as well. So, And they do have a lot of flesh exposed, you know. It's not that hard to hit an armored Sosig in the flesh area if you really go for it. If you really try for it, you could shoot them in the leg to make them drop and fall and scamper around, and then you can just take them with a body or a headshot, you know? But that's what I think. I think that going with hollow points with low caliber rounds is kind of the best option. But some people prefer just going with API in general. Let me bring in the L86. Although, frankly, I don't think I really deserve it right now, considering I'm not doing very well with it. It's also going on to safe a lot. Maybe because I'm, Really? God damn it. I'm doing so terribly with it. I was doing pretty well with it in the last round, but I'm not doing that well with it now. Kind of worrying, honestly. Let me check recording just to make sure. Yeah, everything is fine. Honestly, I gotta be kind of careful because I'm running very close to the clock of my VODs or my take and hold it modded episodes being late. I'm recording episode 6 right now. Maybe a bit too late-ish. I'm not like stressed for time right now. I still have a little bit of time to get it up, but considering I recorded it yesterday and I thought I had a hell of a lot more time, now that the time is coming down to it, it's getting a little bit harder, getting a little bit closer, getting a little bit more stressful, where I'm like, if this episode fucks up, I gotta record episode 6 tomorrow, because like there's nothing else I can do. Either that or accept that one of the episodes is gonna be a day late, even though I said that it was coming out every weekday, which I want to stick to. I want to honor that. I want to make it make sure that every episode comes out every day, you know? Typically speaking, when it comes to making series like this, like the 12 Days of Meatmas and this series, I actually really like to kind of batch record, in a sense, or pre-record a ton of stuff. I like to go for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes before the first one has even aired. By this point, as you know, like the first episode has aired, the second episode has aired, and the third episode has aired, so... Oh, are you kidding me? Come on! Maybe I should just point you. Maybe I shouldn't point you. Aww. Apparently I'm really bad with the L86. L96. L86 is the, no, is it the L86 or the L96? I am unsure. Oh god. You know, I tried playing, what's it called? Arcane's new game, Deathloop. When it came out a few days ago-ish. A few days ago, it's more like yesterday-ish. But, oh, I should actually heal. Yeah, I noticed that it had like really mixed and negative reviews. Half of it is from Denuvo, which, understandable. And another half of it is from people who are having really bad performance, despite having pretty damn beefy PCs. Like, surprisingly beefy. Way more powerful than the ones I have, like 10 times more powerful than my PC. So I thought, you know, I want to try it. I like Arcane's games. They, you know, if you don't know who they are, they made Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Prey 2016. They do like the first-person shooter, magic-y style video games. They're RPGs and stuff like that. They're really fun, usually. Although Arcane has made some quite questionable decisions, which I'm surprised they haven't really fucked about with, or haven't really kind of changed at this point. Ooh. Like how in Dishonored you were really disincentivized from killing people because killing people made it so there were so many more bodies to decompose, and you know they would rot, and you would have the bad ending. You shouldn't kill people. You should make sure that people are fine. And I'm just like, and I don't know why Arcane do that. It is kind of annoying how they want you to just like, hey, by the way, don't play the game. Don't have any fun when playing the game, by the way. You see all these cool powers that let you kill people really coolly? By the way, if you do that, you get the bad ending. What do you mean you want to have fun in our video game? So and that even carried into Dishonored 2, which is mind-boggling to me, the fact that they just continued on with that trend, which is kind of annoying. But I digress, we're not really talking about Dishonored, are we? I was talking about Deathloop. So I decided to buy Deathloop, and I thought, you know what, I'll try it anyway, see if I can get it in a stable frame rate, see if I can get it running. You know, I'm curious to know if even I can get it running, which wouldn't be a surprise, considering people, again, with 10 times more powerful PCs than I have, are struggling really hard. So I bought it, and then, you know, played it for an hour. I fucked about with the settings and stuff like that, and I was honestly really surprised when I could get a stable frame rate. Like, I could actually get solid 60 FPS at 144p, and, oh, it's not up here. Yeah, at 1440p, 60 FPS, and it was completely playable, and it still looked pretty good on very high settings, and I was like, huh? What do you mean I can run it well, but the people who have, like, a monstrous PCs are struggling? And I was kind of told that, I mentioned that in the HD Discord again. The HD Discord is, like, the star of this episode, apparently. But I mentioned that in the HD Discord, someone said, well, they're probably trying to run it at, like, really high frame rates. Oh. Yeah, so apparently the game doesn't really run that well at higher frame rates, but if you limit it to 60, it's kind of fine. So, that kind of explained it, so I was like, oh, okay, fine, I guess that makes some sense. God, I love having hollow points, dude, they're so fun. I saw you, I heard you. Get pooped on. Oh, and there's another one. Sneak attack! Wow, actual stealth? What the hell? Since when did H2 get stealth? Damn. But yeah, I was surprised when I could get a pretty solid frame rate in a game everyone said was running like absolute dog shit. Even though I can barely run VR at this point. Oh, it sucks. Woe is me. God, they're not dying. Hollow points, I said you were good. Can you stop contradicting me? You're making me look bad. No, I'm probably just hitting not very good spots. It does damage does depend on where you hit the Sosigs, by the way. For example, if you clip them just like the side or like the ear, they can actually let me do this. Let me get a higher run magazine. And again, can I? Oh, I just don't have the points for it. That's fine. There we go. Now we actually have a solid mag for the FAL. I do love the FAL, though. What was I talking about again? I completely forgot. I blanked all of a sudden. I tend to blank a lot. Oh, Sosig damage. Basically, if you actually hit a Sosig through the ear or some, like, point, you know, the more the bullet travels through the Sosig, the more damage, I don't like you shotgun guy, the more damage the shot will do. Well, that's some very not sturdy cover you got there. You know what? Explode. Boom. So you're kind of incentivized to, instead of like getting glancing shots where you kind of swipe their neck or go like shunk and just take off a small part of them, you're incentivized to hit as meaty as possible. Have your round cover as most ground, as most surface. So that's why you kind of get variances in terms of like time to kill and stuff like that in this game, because you know maybe you hit a glancing shot or maybe you hit a meaty shot. It really depends. For the most part, that doesn't really matter though. Most of the time, weapons are really consistent in H3. I've found, you know, even though they have a big variance depending on where you hit. Oh God. This point here, I think this point here specifically is the hardest point in this map. For sure, absolutely sure. This is probably the hardest point. Because there's just it's so big. There's so many sightlines. There's not a lot of cover. I kind of like sticking here, maybe. I did this in the last episode, but then I got to deal with these dudes up here. Let me run up. I guess I just gotta move a lot more in this point. I gotta go from area to area. And they're gonna spawn over there now because I moved all the way over here. God, you're annoying. I'm hitting them, which is very surprising. You can barely see them, but I am hitting them. Please. I'm not getting good meaty shots though. I'm not getting any. I'm getting mostly glancing shots or hip shots or stuff like that. Nothing that's actually really hitting them in a really valuable spot. So they're not exactly dying very quick. I'm so glad that these swarms were nerfed. Not because I thought they were too difficult or because I thought, you know, like they were too hard. I actually do want the old swarms to get introduced into Age 3 again at some point. I would actually think that would be really cool if the kind of green swarms that everyone hated were actually just a higher tier, you know? They don't need to be nerfed if you just make them even less likely, make them even more rare, per se. Maybe make them, obviously, their quantity less and stuff like that. You know, you can do a lot of things. But I would like to see them come back as like an Easter egg, you know? Would be really cool. Because, man, they did used to be a lot of pain to deal with. I'm pretty good at point shooting with the FAL. I think it's just because I have a lot of practice with it. It's been in the game for quite a long time, maybe 2 years-ish. Oh, shit. Out of ammo. I also don't like this area. Personally, I'm going down. I did see a dude to the left here, but I'm not sure where he is. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Damn, sleight of hand coming in clutch, though. Damn, I'm so glad I bought that perk. Let me take a look at the recording and have a look at my notes.
5 tokens found. Advance to next.
Maybe we should try and get a suppressor, honestly. Well, always looks quite nice with a suppressor. It's a shame the suppressors ended up actually getting quite nerfed, actually, now that I think about it. Because, if you don't know, in the classic Taken Hold, like the ones where the actual soldier bots, like the Mark II soldier bots. Not these dudes. Actually, no. Yeah, with these dudes as well, with the Sosigs as well. For a long time, suppressors actually used to be like super overpowered. Getting a suppressor and Taken Hold, especially in like the classic maps, because it was actually kind of luck-based, you know, it was actually super luck-based because you had to actually wait for them to spawn in the environment, in the actual loot points. You couldn't just buy them, you know? No suppressor here, though. Actually, let's get an upgraded magazine. Let's see. No, we can't. That's not an ammo upgrade station. But suppressors used to be really good because Sosigs literally couldn't hear them. It was, you know, you could have a pile of Sosigs just walking down the road, and you could snipe one of them with a suppressor. They would not notice a thing. They wouldn't notice their buddy dying. They wouldn't notice their, you know, the actual shot. They wouldn't hear it. It would be as if it just didn't exist, you know? Completely invisible to them. But then Anton made it so the Sosigs actually do hear suppressors from quite a long way away, actually. To the point that they actually are kind of useless now. They're just cosmetic now, sadly. For the most part. Ah! You little shit throwing a grenade at me? Uh-oh, that's a lot of dudes. Man, this is a crowded area. You guys live here or something? I hope you're not rent-free at least. Hope you're paying your taxes. Oh god. Be careful getting associates close to you, by the way. If, you know, if you let associate get close to you and they have a particular weapon, like a rifle, an SMG, or, God forbid, a shotgun, like, see what I mean? Yeah, let them get close to you with a shotgun and you will insta-die. You will die. That's kind of the long and short of it. I also need to buy a, another health source, I think, but I don't think... I can't find an area that has one. Do I even have enough? I think I would need 5 points. I do. Okay, and, you know, if push comes to shove, I can always sell a weapon I'm not using, like the L96. As unfortunate as that is, let me actually take this off and put it on the file instead. I can't put the thing down. So sad. Where even is that? I wish I could open like a bigger map, like a massive actual map, and see the loot points there. That's kind of what I wish. I've always wanted HG to have like an actual physical rotational map, like a 3D diagram, but Anton has always stated that transparent objects are actually kind of impossible. Not impossible, actually, but more like really difficult to do. They are very performance heavy, apparently, which is why there wasn't a blast shield that had a window for the longest time, because it is really performance heavy to have transparent objects, apparently. Ooh, I actually got him. I clipped him. Probably just a glancing shot, so... By the way, if you're wondering... Oh, no health, so sick. Fuck. Damn, we're kind of screwed. It actually just didn't give us anything, did it? It literally gave us no extra round. Okay, sure. But, if you're wondering how I actually got good at aiming, for the longest time, when H3 didn't actually have any big modes, any, like, actual kind of mainstay modes, like, let's say, Take and Hold, Meat Fortress, Meat Grinder. Oh, wow, you're having a bad day. Yeah, like a Meat Grinder, stuff like that, Return of the Raw Wieners. Even though I'm not a big fan of Return of the Raw Wieners personally, I still would consider it like a reason to buy H3 per se. You know, it's a really damn good mode for what it is. And plus, it's some people really fucking love it. Some people are massive fans of Return of the Raw Wieners, and I can understand that. It's definitely really good, just not for me. But before H3 had any of those big modes that you actually could sink your teeth into, anything that had like story or like progression or etc., I would just sit in the indoor ranges and use every gun that came out for 2 hours or so. Really, those boxes are impenetrable? Apparently cardboard is the strongest material in the H3 universe.
Recursive encryption.
But yeah, whenever a new gun came out in H3 back in like 2016, I would just go into like the mini arena or even like the just an indoor range, and I would shoot the gun for... Oh god. Maybe I should pay attention because I am pretty low HP. Yeah, I would just go in and shoot the gun for 2 hours and then reload it, get used to how it reloads, get, you know, interaction points and all that stuff. Actually train with it for 2 hours, and I would do that for almost every gun in the game. What? Where is this last one? There it is. Whew. They were swarming me there. But I would just go into one of the indoor ranges and reload and point shoot the entire time, or, you know, end on sights. Just get used to how the gun feels, how the gun aims, where the bullets go whenever I hold it a certain way. I've always stated I kind of point shoot based on the gun's silhouette, you know, where the gun is facing. And I also can't like this a lot. I feel like putting the gun close to my chest and then just aiming with my entire body is actually a lot more intuitive than like a sideways go, like, or a sideways slant like that. Going like this really tends to help me in point shooting, because it's just like, you know, wherever I look is where I put my gun. It's really intuitive. So I basically just aim with my head, per se. Kind of become a big mobile turret. Of course, I'm being like purposely sturdy and purposely stiff to kind of show it. But for the most part, you know, I do it kind of naturally. I kind of just go like that and aim and look around and stuff like that. And of course, then you offset it, you know, with your aim. And one thing that actually really helps with that is the virtual stalk as well. If you haven't tried HD's virtual stalk, I highly encourage it. It's super good. But if you actually, you notice, I'm not. Oh, hang on. I'm not actually moving my arms here, but the gun still kind of turns to whichever way I'm looking. Granted, it's not perfect. You can't like just hold it still and then look at something, because as you can see, the gun is pretty offset right now. You do still have to aim, but you know, the game helps you a little bit. It helps you correct. It's that little bit of correction that you can have where, you know, if you're looking in the right direction, but you just turn your head slightly and suddenly you're on point and suddenly you're shooting accurately again. I don't know, like, gushing about H3's aiming systems and how all of it works is... I could do that for days, because I think this game is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's no surprise considering I have hundreds of hours in it. But I think almost every aspect of this game just seeps with polish and care, and, you know, as if it was very intricately worked on for years, which it obviously was. Just every part of it feels so sturdy. Oof. Oof. I might have to concentrate for a little bit. Give me a second. Whew. Okay. Whew. It is so stressful being at so low HP when you don't want the run to end. We'll see. We'll hopefully see. Yeah, I just think HD overall is such a well-polished game, and it's hard. I know it's hard to not compare most VR games to H3. I see people doing it a lot all the time, where it's like, H3 has ruined, like, one of the most common statements I've seen is like, oh, H3 has ruined other VR games for me. You know? The shooting, the reloading, the interactions, everything is so well polished, so clean, and so nice that it's... I understand it's hard to adjust to other VR games being nowhere near as in-depth or polished as H3 is. We're going to try and get a health Sosig, hopefully. But I try to not let it cloud my mind. I try to let H3 kind of just be H3 by itself. I kind of treat it as its own thing, and VR games are another thing, per se. I missed. Cool. Woo! Not to mention, HD has so many extra little mechanics to... Oh, God. You know, if you're struggling in H3, there's actually a lot of mechanics that can help. Oh, I actually got HP from that. Nice. But yeah, if you're struggling in H3, there's actually a ton of mechanics, a ton of extra mechanics that aren't really explained to you, but could really help in a pinch if you actually understand them. For example, in Northeast Dakota, I've never had to use sight zeroing. You know, every sight you can zero to a certain distance. And actually, honestly, I should zero this up a little bit. Because most engagements in this map are actually quite farther than you think. Did I even check the what was in here? But I knew that sight zeroing was a thing ever since I bought the game back in 2016. I knew that it was just a thing that you could do, and that it was important, and that it was useful. But for the most part, it was never really... It never had a place in H3. No mod really... No, not a mod. No map really incentivized doing it in a certain sense. You know? It was kind of just something you could do if you wanted to for the extra immersion, or if you were trying to hit a particularly long shot in like the sniping range or whatever. But for the most part, it was a mechanic that never ever got used, per se. It wasn't really required. It wasn't really encouraged. But But I really like that H3 nowadays is adding a lot more content that really kind of rewards those players who knew about the extra mechanics. Again, for example, Northeast Dakota, because I knew about sight zeroing, I knew immediately, like, oh, my sight's not hitting properly, or like, you know, my red dot is not hitting accurately. I was like, oh, I probably don't have it zeroed correctly. Instead of thinking, wow, this red dot's broken, I just thought, okay, let me zero it. And then I was trying to get some accurate shots down range in the last stream I did in Northeast Dakota. I was really struggling to use a sniper rifle because I really needed to bipod it or something. So I used the kind of options panel trick where you spawn the options panel, deploy the bipod and put it on that. But I did that and I was like, this is too finicky. This is too... You know, this is too much work. You know, if I want to move, I can't immediately move. I have to, like, do something with the options panel or something like that. So, you know, I actually had to finick about too much. But then I remembered, hold on, you can actually mount your weapon on walls. I finally remembered that that was actually a mechanic you could use. Ooh. Oh, my alarm is going off. Give me a second. No Sosigs kill me, please. Alarm. God, can you stop? There we go. I think we will make this maybe the last hold, maybe the second last hold. We'll see. Depends on how much more I can talk about. Let me take a look at my notes again, because there were a lot of things I talked about. I have like a document which is like has a bunch of things I talked about in the failed version of this episode. So, and I'm like, I really like the topics I talked about, so I was like, I gotta talk about them again. So I have just a notepad that has a bunch of stuff in them for that. But, you know, actually becoming like a streamer-ish, or trying to become a streamer, actually just getting good internet and stuff like that. I'm starting this discussion really weirdly, actually. Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't actually have good internet. I had really bad internet, but I still wanted to stream. I've been streaming for 10 years. Not saying I've been streaming good for 10 years, that it was actually worth it to watch my stuff for 10 years, but I have been streaming for 10 years. But actually kind of really getting into streaming, really sinking your teeth into it, came with like, it actually made me really motivated to play a lot of older games that I either didn't finish or had already played and didn't really have a reason to play again. I'm not really the type of person who, once I'm done playing a game, or once I've like completed the campaign or something, I don't really play it again. I'm not like a replaying a game type of guy. I don't play it a second time for alternate endings, I don't play it a second time to build differently. I kind of just do one playthrough and that's it. I'm kind of done. But for, when it came to streaming, that gave me like an actual excuse. It gave me a reason to start playing games that I'd already played again. Because now they come with a stipulation like, oh, but I can stream it. I can have footage of it being streamed on my channel. I can, you know, bring up some HD footage, and you know, I can add commentary, and I can enjoy playing it again. It gave me a reason to play more games again, which is super nice. It's like really kind of relaxing, really nice. There's certain games I wouldn't have played anyway, that just because I can stream them, I'm suddenly a lot more motivated to stream them. Something like, let's say, Crisis. If you don't know, earlier in the year, I played through all 3 Crisis games. You know, Crisis 1, Crisis 2, Crisis 3. Oop. Yeah, I played through all the Crisis games, and, oh god. Let me concentrate a little bit here. Oh! Damn, I didn't like that he got me a shot off there. I shot his feet. Ah, there we go. Whew! But honestly, I probably wouldn't have played through Crisis 1 or Crisis 2 or 3 even if I couldn't stream them, you know? If I wasn't able to stream them, I probably wouldn't have played through them again. Because I have, like, no interest in playing through Crisis 1 again. It's honestly not really that good, in my opinion, but... You know, stuff like that. One of the first games I ever streamed on Waddicker, and you can actually go back to my channel and see it if you know, arrange the videos from oldest to newest. You can see that one of the first things I ever streamed was Spyro, no, not Spyro, but Spyro 3, You're the Dragon. I actually streamed that. It was one of the first things I streamed because it was something I wanted to stream for a really long time, but I didn't have good internet, so I couldn't. And one of the unfortunate things about streaming, actually, it's kind of, there's a good side and a downside, unfortunately. Now, instead of, since I can stream almost every game I want to play, I kind of get this weird, oh god, regenerative. I get this weird feeling where... Okay. Shit. Oh god, they're swarming in. No. Okay, I gotta focus on Sosigs. Oh god, I'm out of ammo. Fuck. What? Woo! Oh my god, I did it! Oh god. Actual god gamer. Oh my. Whew. That was really stressful. I had to like buckle down. I had to pull up my socks for that one. I just figured, like, what do I focus on? Do I focus on the Sosigs? Do I focus on the recursive or another generative encryption? And I thought, you know, I just got to focus on the encryption. There's too many Sosigs to... sometimes you have to make that call in H3 when you're doing encryption-based take and hold, is you got to make that call. Do I just go for the encryption or do I go for the Sosigs? You know, I might take damage going for the encryption, but if it's a means of, like, the run ending, you kind of got to make that call. And I think that was the correct call there. I actually did the correct thing. And we're going back into the topic that I'm probably not going to get to talk about it for very long because, you know, we're dead almost. Maybe I should be careful. But yeah, there's now like a downside when it comes to being a streamer where I get this nagging feeling every time I want to play a game that I'm kind of like... Oh, where is this? Oh, it's down even further. Yeah, I always get this nagging feeling whenever I'm playing a game. It's like, yeah, I could play this game by myself and not stream it, but like if I'm playing a game, I always kind of feel obligated, like why aren't I streaming it? You know? At least that's what I feel like whenever I'm whenever I'm playing a game now. I'm like, why don't I just stream it? So I end up not playing games sometimes, you know, sometimes I'll end up in a state of limbo where it's like, I want to play this game, but I might want to stream it, but I want to play it solo because, like, I probably can't stream it, but I also, what if I do want to stream it? What if I do want to play on stream? You know, if I do play a little bit of it solo, then it becomes really frustrating to stream because then I have to restart and start from the beginning, and it gets so annoying. There's so many tangents in my head that it really kind of annoys me, and I just kind of shut down. I just go full, like, oh god. I just go full, what's it called? What is the phenomenon called again? It's, it's something, choice paralysis, that's it, I forgot about it. I just go into, like, full choice paralysis mode where I just don't know what to do, and I just don't play it. I just don't play the game. So, you know, as good as streaming is for letting me replay a lot of games I wouldn't have normally played again, or let me play a lot more games, I now kind of get this choice paralysis whenever there's a game I do want to play, but I kind of can't stream it, you know. I end up not playing any games at all until I stream them. It means games are no longer like relaxing time for me in a sense. Streaming is of course relaxing. It's like I'm not saying streaming is stressful or anything like that, but it does wear down on you, you know? Yeah, we can end this episode soon, ish. Next point. Yeah, I just end up in a choice paralysis sometimes. I also end up with it a lot, and I think most people experience this at some point, or, you know, they've felt it, where you have multiple things you have to do, like, you know, maybe you gotta do the laundry, maybe you gotta do the dishes, maybe you gotta wash something, maybe you gotta clean your room, maybe you gotta do something, maybe you gotta play a game that you want to play. Or maybe you got 2 games you want to play. But because you have multiple things you want to do, you end up kind of paralyzing, you end up procrastinating. That tends to happen for me a lot, where if I have multiple things I have to do, I end up doing none of them because it's, you know, kind of hard to choose. I don't really get confident enough to make that decision. I'm not really confident, but more like I just kind of, again, I paralyze, in a sense. Let me know in the comments if you actually experience anything like that, or if you managed to get over it somehow, or something like that. I've typically managed to get over it just by forcing myself to do something, you know? You know, kind of just make use of the time I have, where it's like if I got to do the laundry but also play a game, I'll be like, let me just do the laundry, just do it. Just do it right now, and then play something else, and then just play it afterwards, after I'm finished, you know? Then I can relax, you know? Instead of kind of waiting at the clock, waiting at the timer until one of them is no longer possible anymore, and, you know, I have to kind of do it. You know, sometimes I used to do that, where I would wait out all the possibilities first, or I would, like, kill time. So, for example, if it's, like, close to where I go to sleep, and I can't be dedicated enough to play a game, you know, like, I'm about to go to sleep in like 30 minutes, so I can't really start playing a video game because then I'll just get preoccupied. Then I'm like, okay, I can do the laundry now, because doing the laundry takes like 10 minutes at most. Where's this encryption? There you are. You know, I would get to that point where I had no more choices, and I just had to do one of them. And trying to get past that is kind of difficult sometimes. Especially when you're not motivated, or you're not in the mood, or you're kind of grumpy. It is hard to do something like that sometimes. Getting over choice paralysis is like a genuine thing I kind of have. I also kind of feel that way with something like Deathloop. I mentioned Deathloop earlier, Arcane's new game. But the performance of Deathloop isn't good enough for me to stream. Like, you know, I still have frame drops every now and then, and I think, you know, if I tried streaming it, it would just run like absolute dog shit. So it wouldn't be fun. So I thought, okay, well, if I can't stream it, I want to play it. You know, I can play it solo, just by myself, not on stream. But at the same time, I'm like, oh god, but what if I do want to stream it at some point? Maybe I could wait, you know? Maybe I'll wait a few months until I get a better PC, but then, you know, at that point, after I waited those amount of months, maybe I just don't play it, in general, you know? Wait, that was a really quick encryption, was it? I felt like encryption, or like a series of encryptions came out one after another. Odd. And choice paralysis is weird. Choice paralysis is odd. Yeah, if you want to get into streaming, I would actually highly encourage it as well. It's really fun, and it does give you an excuse to play a lot of games you wouldn't normally have played, or a lot of games that you wouldn't have normally have replayed again, just so you can stream them, just so you can get a new experience, because it's a new way to experience them. You know, the chat and stuff like that, people talking with you. But playing games solo by yourself, just without recording them, without streaming them, just being quiet, it's a different type of atmosphere, you know? Different type of playing, different type of... You don't have any hurry, you don't have any pressure, nothing like that. You can just play at your own leisure. And sometimes I do miss that feeling, because most games I play nowadays, I stream or I record or something like that, and I end up talking, and it's a different feel from just playing a game naturally. So, and I don't experience that a whole lot anymore. Because, you know, if I'm playing a game, why wouldn't I just stream it at the same time? So I do miss that feeling. On occasion. But, you know, what else can you do? Not really much I can do there. I could just dedicate myself to more quickly deciding if a game is stream worthy or if it's just worth playing in my own time, but if only it was that easy. For the most part, I think, yeah, I was about to say we should be dead, but that's fine. I was literally about to end the run there anyway, and this is another hour-long episode. Go. Anyway, I thought this. Okay, so for like a recovered episode, you know, I was kind of frustrated yesterday when I recorded episode 6 and it didn't work out, but this is still good enough. I feel like I've done pretty well here. And I was really frustrated, like I said at first, but I got over it and I was like, you know what? It just means I got to play more H3, which isn't a bad thing. So, again, if you like the stuff I make, I really appreciate it if you share it around with people who are interested in H3. It would really help me out a lot. You know, the YouTube algorithm really just loves to suck people dry and give them no intention whatsoever. But aside from that, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Every single comment, every single like, every single thing you say. You know, I always try to reply to every comment that happens. You know, if you want to see more Taken Hold or you want to see more H3, there's 2 playlists to the right. One of them is 12 Days of Meekness. One of them is the Take It, Hold It, Mod It playlist, and then you can subscribe on the icon on the left over here. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final episode of Season 1, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you later.